for etiefo any obi biara aha Ghanatube so modofo snowy any abusian for matana say maji akonye die no mehu say ai ensem no edos ye pa eno ena mede boy say wonsom no eno eni nipa abusian for intempa no di mechie na ensem bia ewo ho ana say bia ekoso ewo manganim no say memfa ensom di mechi.
Tonight, we turn our attention to the New Patriotic Party's frantic restructuring drive after its crushing 2024 electoral defeat, an outcome that handed the governing NDC an overwhelming parliamentary supermajority and sent the NPP into its most introspective moment since 1992. Following that loss, the party commissioned the Professor Mike Okwe Committee to dissect the factors behind the unprecedented setback. While its findings remain under lock and key, the NPP has since rolled out sweeping internal reforms. Chief among them, though, is the decision to hold its flag-bearer election ahead of the national executive polls. 5 aspirants are already crisscrossing the country in a battle for the soul and future direction of the New Patriotic Party. But beneath that high-profile contest lies another fiercely consequential race, which is the national chairmanship. Several party heavyweights have already declared their intention, each positioning himself as the leader capable of steering the NPP back to power in 2029 and beyond. One of them is a former Director General of SIGA and former MP for Infantiman West. Who is he and why is he entering the fray? What does he bring to the table anyway, and how does he plan to engineer the NPP's return to government in 2029? Before we get into his vision for the party, let me take you through a brief history of the NPP's chairmanship evolution from 1992 to today, where we are. And you see there on your screen the NPP chairmanship history, chairman since 1992. You will recall that in 1992, former president then Nana Akufo-Addo was the chairman of the party from 1992 to 1998. The elections result under his watch as chairman. He lost 2 major elections. That was in 1992 and 1996. Then came Samuel Odoi Sykes. He took over from Nana Akufo-Addo in 1998 to 2001, and he managed to win 1 election for the NPP. That was somewhere in 2000 when J. Kufuor first became president. After Odoi Sykes came Haruna Iseku from 2001 all the way to 2005, and he also managed to win 1 for the NPP. After him came Peter McMahon from 2005 to 2010. Unfortunately, under his watch, the NPP lost the election. And then came Jake Obichebi-Lamptey from 2010 to 2014. Unfortunately for him also, he also lost the election for the NPP. Then Paul Afoko was elected in 2014, and he served barely about a year thereabout, and he got suspended. So he did not take the NPP into any major election. So we cannot say whether he lost an election or won one for the NPP. And when he was suspended, Freddie Blay came into the picture, because I think Freddie Blay was his deputy and was acting. And then from 2015 to 2022, Freddie Blay did a wonderful job. He won 2 main elections for the NPP. Now, after Freddie Blay came the gentleman you see on the screen, Stephen Ayenso in team. He's been the national chairman since 2022. Before then, he was national vice chair from 2001 all the way to 2005. He also contested for national chairmanship 4 times without success. And he's currently he's on a temporary break due to illness, so he's not as active as we used to see him. Now let's move on. As we speak today, 7 heavyweights, stalwarts of the NPP, have declared their intention to contest the position as chairman of the party. Let's go through them and see. You see there on your screen, Paul Afoko also declared his intention, and the NPP's Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Entwibo-Isiako also declared his intention to lead the party as its chairman. Then former General Secretary of the party, John Bwedu, also declared his intention, as well as former Energy Minister Boakye Ejako. He also declared his intention that he will be contesting. Let's look at the others who are also declaring their intention. You see SUBCRIBE there, a former national executive of the NPP. He also declared his intention, as well as David Kankam-Bwedu also has also declared his intention. And then we have Stephen Asamoah Boateng. He has also declared his intention. So these are 7 gallant men we've been able to, put together based on media monitoring and what they've been saying on their social media platform, the statement they've released and all that. And in the hot seat tonight is Stephen Asamoah Boateng, is a former Minister of State, and he's already smiling. Great to see you. So why do you want to lead the NPP? What is the gap in there that you want to fix?
For me, people think it's an ambition or it's a position. That's not me. It's a job. It's a job that needs to be done to fulfill the party's ambition of taking political power and serving the people of Ghana. I've grown up to be somebody who serves the public. That's public service.
What is wrong with MPP's leadership currently? At
the moment, we seem not to have a proper leadership. The chairman is not feeling well, and he's not working because of illness or ill health. And anybody can be sick, so he's excused. But without a chairman, we are left with a gap of the secretaries and the organizers, and naturally the first vice should have stepped in, and he did. But sometimes it's your character, your stature. It tells a story, and it stamps the authority, and also bring everybody together.
You believe the NPP is going through a leadership crisis?
I think so. I think so. It's obvious. It's obvious that if you look at the way sometimes we talk, the direction is not there, and discipline, it's almost disappeared. And I am a disciplinarian, but not only that, I'm a team player. I bring people together. My natural positive strength is to organize. I remember when I had an engagement with Jerry John Rawlings. I served him as a cocoa evacuation coordinator, if you know, when I was a student leader. But then he misbehaved, so
Rawlings misbehaved?
Yeah, he misbehaved.
Anyway.
Rawlings and I had an argument, and we basically fought. And then he drove me out of Ghana. So I went into exile. But my key positives is to organize. I organize people, I put people together, and I recognize everybody's capacity.
You think the current crop of leadership of the NPP is not doing that now?
2 things is happening now. Don't forget, we don't have a chairman because of ill health, so there's a vacuum. But not only that, when you lose a general election as heavy as we did, it sends a bit of depression down the spine of the party. And I felt it, everybody felt it. I mean, when we set up the Michael Quay committee, Uncle Michael Quay is like my big brother. So I was very close to him. Most of the things that they wrote, I'm privy to some of them. And it was clear that we needed a center that holds, and a chairman that has the mandate to create a new disciplinary group, and everybody plays to the rules of the game as a group. So I think there's a problem after losing elections. So we're all we're in a shell shock. Maybe we're not coming out. I was in a shell shock for about 5 months.
Oh.
We never expected it. I, for once, did not expect that. Well, it was
was it the margin or
the margin? The reason why I was leaving SIGA and looking at 2024 and came for the chairmanship race was the danger. I could see breaking the 8 wasn't easy. Yes, we said it, but you have to do something extraordinary. Ghanaians have got used to the 8-term.
You think the leadership contributed to that loss?
I believe so. I believe so. If it wasn't, we wouldn't have lost.
What didn't they do right?
It's a structure. When you are a leader or you are a group of leaders, you got to look at not just yourself as a group at the top, but how do we win elections? Elections are conducted and polls are conducted at the polling station and constituency level. That's where we declare results, not at the region, not at the national. The region and national are coordinators, and make sure resources reach there. But when there's a gap and there's a disconnection, there's always going to be a problem.
So there was a disconnection?
Oh, there was a disconnection. I mean, I'm a member of parliament and I was part of the campaign. I was part of Dr. Muhammadu Bahumia's campaign. If you remember, I became the Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, and I knew the chiefs. I have almost all the telephone numbers of the chiefs, and I know them by name and person. I was also the Minister for Religious Affairs, so the pastors, the imams. So I was on the ground, and having been a local government minister, I am a local boy. I'm a down-to-earth grassroots campaigner. So
you got some hint from them?
Yes, I did. I picked up, but that's why I wanted to be the chairman, because the signal was that there was a gap between government officials and the party, and sometimes people are struggling to be heard by ministers. So you needed a chairman who can hold the party and go and sit down with the president and argue for the party and the country and say, look, on the ground, messages are not going through. I did the same when I was local government minister under President Kufuor. We used to have arguments, but it doesn't come out. But when I go home and say, Papa, you like it or not, I'm the local government minister, listen to me. I go to the disco, I go to the chop bar. The security will not allow people to come close to you. And he sometimes listen. Only sometimes he asks me whether it's my name on the picture which we took to get the election, then I shut up.
So there's a weakness.
There was a gap.
There was a gap.
There was a gap, and I wanted to close that. Then I also thought that positions were being given not in consultation with the party. So some positions, the party wouldn't know who was this person. They came from, and we were struggling to understand some of them. I was lucky when I was SIGA Director General to pull them together under the chamber. So whether I knew them or not, they had to come down a certain structure. And I am a believer of a structure,
right, and
discipline, and also honesty and integrity. Because if you don't get that, you will do what you like.
Which of those positions you thought was not really, properly crafted and all that?
Well, once the chairman was out, it was difficult. Secretary gets instruction from chairman or the National Executive Committee and National Council. But day to day, the chairman gives also a direction, also mentor the young ones. The secretary is a young man.
So there was a disconnect between the presidency and the party at that level.
Yes. And then there was also a gap between appointing people to certain government positions. So I came up with a policy guideline which I said 60-40. Government must take 60% of appointment, or the president with his people, but 40% comes to the party, so that the party will select its own nominees for ministers. There are some people.
You put this out?
Oh yes, I put it out there.
Did the president listen?
The president listened, but he wasn't the only one.
He did what? 80-20?
60-40. So that's one of my key policies. You see, party makes the government. It's not a government mixing party. So when the president gets there, he didn't go there as independent candidate. The party must have a say. The party must nominate. Some people are in the constituency level who could be a minister, who can be a DCE.
Right.
We must bring them out. Most often, there are people who are close to the executive power who get nominated and mentioned. And somebody is in Bumpurubu Yoyo. He can be a minister for local government. Who knows him? Unless he comes to Accra most of the time. But he has to be locally. So I came up with a 60-40. Not only that, I also came up with an idea that, look, the youth, we are detaching from the youth. The youth are the majority in Ghana, in the voting population. So if you're a political party and you miss out on the youth, you are basically calling...
How did the NPP miss out on the youth?
What we did was do the normal thing of the youth playing what do you call it, artists to play, but that's not the solution. That is entertainment. But when you finish, what's the database of the youth? Who are you dealing with? The youth organizers. What's your role? And what's the voice of the youth organizers in the National Council? Are you with me? It's only one person who comes to the National Council as a youth organizer. But can't we have a structure where the youth plays a critical role in the National Council, National Executive? Yes, they will come there as an individual, but they should come in bulk so they can speak as a group.
Okay.
What about the youth? What about the women? The women in terms of politics, they do a lot. Behind the scenes, they convince people. All
right. Well, I know you have a lot to say, but let's go into why the NPP lost the election. You were close to former Speaker reasons why the NPP lost the 2024 election the way they did.
It's not been disclosed. The document has not been disclosed. So let me be cautious in terms of what I disclose. But what I know, and working with everybody and listening to my team and platforms I belong, and also working with my Kokwe, the key point was about policy directions. Some of them did not resonate with the people. The domestic debt exchange program, for instance, where pensioners' savings were capped. It may sound fiscally prudent. The IMF insisted on it, and I questioned. But whether the IMF, but they don't live in Ghana, they come and go. But the Ghanaian, the old age pensioner, why are you capping their money? I mean, what, we got enough resources in the country. So that was one area. It's gone now, but it's a major area that we did not perform well.
Another?
Another was also the employment area. We created the NAPCO. And they were supposed to progress beyond that to permanent employment. But it got to a point where sometimes the allowances were not coming. And these are young people. They talk. They're on social media everywhere. So we needed to do something drastic, and it didn't happen. There was also we were also not seen as united in a way. The divisions of the party was clear, with the extent that Chairmanship packed his bag and left the party, which I didn't agree with him. Alan is a brother and a friend of mine, but
you think he was pushed out in a way?
No. I think he himself did not. He wasn't patient enough. In politics, it's not everything that you want you get. It's a good.
But he's been patient. He went to he contested the flag bearership all the way
there's
back.
no guarantee that you contested and it's your turn. It doesn't work that way. Politics, the dynamics of politics makes it not straightforward as a line. You follow a line. Yes, you maybe have an advantage, but you have to argue your case out. And you have to be tough.
You think he didn't do that?
Well, I won't go into some detail, but there was a disconnect because he took some guys out. And it's not just him. I spoke to him a lot and I wanted him to stay, but he left. And I still talk to him. I said, look, Alan,
you'll bring him back if you become the chairman of the NPP?
At the moment, it's a difficult question. I'll keep the door open and talk. But to bring him back, he left himself. I mean, if he has to come back, he has to come back. I don't have to go and bring him.
Okay.
Are you with me? I mean, yes, we need numbers, but we will dialogue and see what it goes. But I don't think it's an open-ended
something. Okay, was arrogance of power part of the reason why the NPP lost?
People say that, but you see, power, whether it's NDC or NPP, it gets into your head a little bit sometimes. So it plays a role. And I can tell you, even the NDC now, I know some of them are complaining. They are young men, they call their minister, they don't pick. Their business is not your fault. But that's why you need a party structure that works, that resonates. Indeed, that's why the chairman of the party becomes a cabinet or sits in cabinet. It's not cabinet, but sits in there.
Okay.
The secretary sits in there. So they can present
this issue.
Yo, for Yako Abba, would say in some essay, or there, and I say, I know their day, and it was dinner for our dinner, a wookie me, a comment section or Namin and Kinkai, Emma, aha, a Ghanatube, so I was young for society, my crown.